When did a medical emergency finally open your eyes to how badly you were being used? The paramedic asked why I had venue contracts scattered across my car when they found me unconscious behind the wheel outside a dive bar. I woke up in the ambulance with oxygen strapped to my face and no memory of what happened. The paramedic said I'd been found slumped over after passing out from exhaustion while loading equipment alone in the parking lot. He explained they needed to call someone and started checking my phone. Call my boyfriend Leo. He's probably wondering where the drums are. The paramedic scrolled through my messages and frowned. Wait, why are you reading my texts? I asked weakly. We need to verify your emergency contact, but these messages show you telling him about bookings, promotion schedules, and merch orders. Yet his only response from 2 weeks ago is complaining that not enough people came out. I tried to defend him. He focuses on the music since he's the lead singer. The paramedic set down my phone. According to these texts, you handle all their bookings, design their promotional materials, and haul their equipment to every gig while he ignores you. I insisted someone had to do it or the band wouldn't succeed, and that it really wasn't that bad moving the equipment alone. Hold on, you're physically loading amps and drum kits by yourself, ma'am? You weigh 87 pounds. I explained they show up and play for whatever crowd I managed to drag there, despite refusing to promote themselves because posting online would compromise their artistic integrity. So you're doing the work of 4 paid professionals plus manual labor that usually requires a crew, all for free? When I admitted this started 2 years ago when we began dating, he stopped writing. I tried to laugh, but my ribs screamed in protest. I'm being supportive even though they can't stay in rhythm, and Leo forgets his own lyrics half the time. The paramedic wasn't laughing. Ma'am, your body is literally eating itself to stay alive because you're doing all of this. 1. At the hospital, the doctor reviewed my tests looking horrified. Severe exhaustion, dehydration, malnutrition, and a potassium level so low your heart nearly stopped. She wheeled her chair over. Your calendar shows you worked your paying job, then drove 3 hours to set up and run an entire show alone. I explained weakly that the guys had to get home for work. She pointed out I also had work after sleeping 3 hours in my car. When did Leo last thank you for everything you do? The question made my throat burn. He's stressed because the band hasn't taken off yet, even though I told him maybe playing the same 3 songs badly for 2 years isn't helping. She shook her head. Despite you growing their following, booking steady gigs, and creating professional merchandise that actually sells, that's when I started sobbing so hard the monitors started beeping. The doctor stayed while nurses pumped fluids into my skeletal frame. Your body is shutting down. We're keeping you for observation. I protested through tears that they had a gig tomorrow and nobody else knew the soundboard. Then maybe they should learn. Leo arrived 5 hours later, visibly annoyed and reeking of weed and beer. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it was having cops interrupt band practice asking about you? I stared at him while hooked to 3 different IV bags. I'm sorry my near-death experience interrupted your rehearsal. He rolled his eyes. This is exactly your problem. Always making everything so dramatic and attention-seeking when you should be focusing on getting us more exposure. The doctor walked in at that exact moment. Are you the boyfriend who hasn't responded to her messages in 2 weeks? Leo puffed up defensively. Listen, sweetheart, I don't have time for texting when I'm channeling my muse and crafting sonic landscapes. The doctor's expression turned to complete disbelief. Your girlfriend nearly went into cardiac arrest from exhaustion while single-handedly running your music career for free. Leo actually scoffed. It's not a career yet because she's obviously not doing enough promotion. I mean, we played to 4 people last week and 2 were the bartenders. The doctor stared at him like he'd grown a second head before turning to me. What happens if you stop doing everything for them? I panicked and started listing obligations. They have gigs booked all weekend that I already promised the owners. She commanded me to stop before looking back at Leo with disgust. Your girlfriend cares more about your terrible band than you do. The doctor wrote a prescription down on her pad that threw me for a loop. Minimum 3 weeks off work and absolutely 0 band responsibilities or you risk permanent heart damage. I panicked thinking about bar owners who trusted me to book an unknown band that couldn't tune their instruments. But the band needs me to function, I pleaded. She held up my phone showing dozens of unanswered messages to Leo, including one that just said, please respond, I'm scared, and said firmly I was killing myself for people who won't even text back. They managed exactly 1 performance before breaking up because nobody else could figure out how to book gigs or even how to set up their own instruments.